Hey, it's Denise, and I am very glad to be talking to you. Our power just came on about 40 minutes ago, and it had been out for 27 hours. We honestly were not expecting it to be back till maybe Monday or Tuesday, so I am considering this an absolute near miracle that it came on. It's been in the freezing and below freezing range nonstop during this whole time, so we've been living by keeping the generator filled, which basically runs these two not so big electric space heaters that I have. So we've been able to maintain the house at a temperature around 40-45 degrees. Uh, some of my more tropical plants do not look very happy with me. I watered them with slightly warm water and made them all kinds of promises about the grow lights staying on extra hours if they please would not die on me. Anyway, I did want to just let you know that that's why I hadn't posted the video of my decluttering, which I got some decluttering done on Saturday before the lights went out. So I will upload that video so you can see what I got done. Today was just spent buying more gas cans, spending a humongous amount of time waiting in line to fill gas cans, being outside, making sure the generator was full, turning it off, turning it on, switching what appliances were plugged in to keep both the chest freezer, the refrigerator from thawing, and also then trying to keep the heaters on as much as possible to keep the people from freezing, and of course the plants and the dog. So hopefully the power stays on. The trees are still covered in ice and snow, which means there's always a possibility of more branches coming down. We're hoping that doesn't happen. And so if all goes well, it's evening now. So if all goes well, I'll be back to decluttering goals. And I actually ended up doing some of it because I had to get to one of the things at the bottom of a stack of boxes. Was a box of candles, many of which I had made myself just using old jars and used wax melts. For the longest, I used to keep a small, like a just plain old nondescript trash bin, like little garbage can like they have in an office. And when I would use a wax melt in my wax warmers, because I do enjoy having wax melting and having the smell and all without having to actually have something on fire in the room. So when I would stick them in the freezer, because it's kind of the easiest way to get them to just pop out of the warmer dish, is to put them in the freezer for a little bit. So they would pop out in this dish shape, and I'm someone who always tries to think, is the way to like recycle this, is another way to use this rather than just throwing something and it's going to end up in the landfill. So I had this garbage, a small like office, like next to your desk size plastic garbage can full of probably 150, 200 of these wax tarts that had been used. They maybe had a little bit of fragrance left, but mostly, the fragrance had been used up out of them, and they were all different colors and stuff. But I had made about a dozen, ended up using them to make candles. So it was kind of like I didn't have to pay for the wax to make candles, and I just, I used jars that I knew were okay to make candles in, because, not every glass jar is appropriate for burning something in. And so I was glad that it seems like a waste to throw these out. It paid off because the candles that I made from them were in that box. And when we went through several of them over the last day and I was just really glad to have them all on hand. Because at first it was like, what am I going to do with all these candles? And they've proven themselves over and over that they have a real good burn time. I obviously picked the right size wick for the jar and the type of their soy wax, mostly, and para soy blend. But most of the people that I like to order from use mostly soy, or for some of their tarts, a blend. Um, but yeah, so it was like candles that really all I had to pay for was the wick, um, which makes for very cheap candles, especially if you're doing it yourself. And so they really were helpful during this time where I was going through, trying to keep a whole house lit up enough that you could walk around it. Um, so yeah, let's hope the power stays on, and everybody have a great night, and thank you for watching.